Yeah, there we go. I'm going to get better and better at this, guys. This is so fun to learn this new world of technology. So let me go ahead and start over. It's about 2 minutes past 7. It is August 5th. Mega happy birthday, Sherry Gillespie, Pro 9, Sherry Gillespie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Congratulations. So good to have you on here tonight and on a special day. Again, my name is Kathleen O'Brien. I am a Pro 8 within the world of LifeVantage. I would encourage you to go to the income disclosure statement so that you can peruse that and see what significance that might offer somebody. I have absolutely enjoyed being a part of LifeVantage. I want to share a little bit of my story. I have been with LifeVantage. It'll be 10 years, believe it or not, July 28th, or it was 10 years. Oh my gosh, it was 10 years, July 28th. And I use all the products. I absolutely love everything about LifeVantage. I was able to ascend the ranks. Our team earned the rank of Pro 8 within 22 months. I do not make any promises to anyone because I will tell you that I had
still could possibly
of previous experience. So you come to the table with whatever it is that you have in the way of experience, your confidence level, all of these different things. When I was introduced to LifeVantage, I had previously worked with 5 other companies. One of them was on the corporate side. I was what you call a corporate trainer, and I oversaw about 9,200 different business owners. And about 3 weeks out of every month, I would fly around the country and help support and help them to build their businesses. So I did have quite a lot of experience in my back pocket. So when I came across LifeVantage, thanks to Sherry Gillespie, who's been a friend of mine for many, many years, she was the one that picked up the phone, and she did a couple of really good things right, guys. And this is the message. If I can just leave this with you, she kept it simple. There is magic in simplicity. She picked up the phone. She called me from Oregon. I lived in Virginia at the time. And she said, Kathleen, I want you to take a look at an ABC video and then tell me what you liked about it. Now, I was not an easy sell. I was a little bit assertive. I will use that polite term. I was a little bit assertive. At the end of the day, she still would not. I just couldn't push her to give me what it was all about. And I'm so glad she did, because here's the deal. When I watched the video, what it did is it allowed me personally to be able to hear it through my own ears and not through Cherie's definitions and explanations. So, you know, I wasn't listening to the part about cancer. I wasn't listening to the part about diabetes. But when the question came up, did this help someone with a mental health condition? I was all over it, because I'm not ashamed to admit that I've had my own journey many, many years ago, not anymore now, with mental health and depression. And I was very intrigued by that. So I was sold on the product right away because of the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. I also loved the fact that the company was publicly traded. I had worked with 2 privately owned companies previously, and both of those companies left me. I didn't leave them, they left me. So I had given up 10 years of my career, 5 years each, to 2 companies that walked away. And I believe it was because they were privately held and they pretty much could say whatever they wanted to. So there was the product. There was the fact that the company was publicly traded. I loved the compensation plan. I was making money right out of the box. Within 24 hours, I was making money like crazy. So I was very inspired by this company to keep going. And now we have a very, very large global team. And I'm impressed by all of you that are out there. I'm inspired by all of you. And that's one of the reasons we're on here tonight, because we have new people coming to the table all the time. And I want to be able to offer up some basic training. It's really important that we have what I call need to know training. In other words, as a new distributor, you don't need to be overwhelmed by a whole bunch of training. You just need little bites and basic stuff. And we are going to cover something called commitment tonight, which is probably the number one thing that you want to take away tonight. So that's in essence my story. What I'd like to do now is I've invited someone else to share her story. And the theme for the month of August is convention. And she's going to also share with us the importance of getting to convention and how that has impacted her business. So Debbie Kral has been a friend of mine for a number of years through the World of Life Vantage. She is a team member. She is also a Pro 7. I live in Indiana and she lives currently in Florida because she has a tendency to wander the globe. So with that, I'd like to give over the next few minutes to Debbie Kral. And Deb, if you could share your story with us and talk a little bit about convention.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yes, I'd love to, because convention, that's something that changed my life. Absolutely. I know if I didn't go to it, I would be a customer forever. So I appreciate you inviting me on your webinar tonight, and convention is why I'm here. A little bit about my background. I've been an equine physical therapist for more than 40 years. And yeah, I did travel around the country and the world with horses. 40 years of it is a long time. Also was custom saddle maker for 25 years. So if you weren't doing one thing, you were doing two or three. And you lived out of motorhomes and hotels and about 7-8 months out of the year. That was all very exciting in the beginning. But after a couple of decades, it got real old, packing and moving and packing and moving. That's when you get moved into the RV and the motorhome with fifth wheels. But then you've got all the diesel truck breaks down, $70,000, and there's $5,000 repairs. And you do enough of that, and this is still fun, but it's not that much fun. So when I was exposed to this for the first time, it was a complete stranger that showed it to me. And I only knew one thing, and that network marketing was something you weren't supposed to do. I had no idea why I thought that, because I had never done it before, but I had this big opinion about it. I think a lot of people do. And I got in because of the product. And I got a lot of people, a lot of horses, a lot of dogs on the product. I saw it worked. I got super excited about it. I still was a real butthead about the business. There's just the nicest way I could say that. I didn't believe it was real. I wasn't sure that, you were really going to get paid. I had a 6-figure income. I worked at the top of the game, Kentucky Derby horses, 2 Olympic teams. And I didn't really want to just throw that away if this wasn't real. And at the time, it was about 8 years ago, the company was young. And I went to my first convention just so I could prove to myself that this wasn't real. I didn't go out there to get excited. I was upset that I was going to have to go to a rah-rah event to be able to tell myself this isn't real. But I wasn't going to miss this, I didn't think. I said, you're going to have to at least go and find out if this is real. So I went out there with a big attitude, and I spent every night until 2 a.m. in the morning talking to people. I asked, do you really get paid? And how much do you get paid? And how long did it take to get there? And it took, after 3 nights, I finally kind of had an idea this might just be real, because I'd been involved for 6 weeks and I'd gotten a paycheck every week. But I didn't know how, because I was such a butthead. I wouldn't let the person that showed me this tell me why you get paid, because I only got in it for the product. So when I got to convention, I learned a lot of things. I learned this is real. I mean, I do everything I can to get people to convention, because I know I would be a great customer these last 8 years, but I would not be a distributor. I would not have built a Pro 7 organization. I wouldn't have had the belief, because when you go there, you get belief not only in yourself, but in the company. You understand the industry. You hear people like Kathleen that's been in it for decades, Sherry, that they've got all this experience that you grow from and realize that, you're just being an idiot. So I got the most people I could to every one of those events so they could hear it from somebody else the way I did. So building belief, whether it's in yourself or in the company or in the industry, I don't believe too many of us on this call have to build belief in our product, but that's there too. If somebody needs all the hoo-ha about the science, I love Kathleen, because I can remember I was running about every little science thing, because that's what I had to have, being a therapist. And then, one day she just goes, oh, you'll get over it one day. And I was like, well, that's something to say. But you know what, Kathleen, I got over it. So you've got to go to events. And this one I think is going to be super special. It's going to be the first time we've ever had something like this, a virtual event. And probably you guys know every time that LifeVantage does something, they, blow it over the top. This will be something special. It's not going to be some little webinar deal. And so many of the things are already out there in place, like the gift boxes they have for us that are worth more than the ticket that we get. The speakers that are involved, we already have over 20 incredible speakers. And a lot of times when we go to global, we don't have enough time to get to the speakers we want to, or you're writing so fast and you're running to that next room. And this is going to be special because we're going to be sitting on the couch, hopefully, with the environment today, hopefully with some of your distributors, and we're going to be able to take notes and talk about it. And we're going to have 30 days to view this. I think it's going to be an exceptional event. And in 8 years, I have never missed one. And wasn't sure I was going to throw this out, but I am. The last one we had in Cancun, I'm so glad I went to it, but it was a struggle. It is a struggle for a lot of us to get to a lot of these events, whether it's money or time. But I had brain surgery, and it was only 6 weeks after I had brain surgery that I wasn't going to miss this event. I mean, I went to all 5 of my doctors and said, can I go? And they said yes. And for a person that went to their very first academy or very first convention saying you're going to one so you can prove this doesn't work, to 8 years later, never missing one for any reason, it is the most important event I've ever probably been to in my life because it changed my life. Wow. So thank you for inviting me, Kathleen.
Oh, Deb, that was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we got that recorded. You have become a very special friend in my life and team member. I love working with you. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Deb, and I'm going to move into our purpose. Our purpose is really important. You will find on your replicated website that there is a copy of the purpose. I do put the purpose at the bottom of all of my emails because I think it's very important for us to have a grounding and understanding of what our mission statement is. And it is this: as LifeVantage corporate and we as distributors, we dare to imagine an abundant world where both physical and financial health is optimized. We believe your well-being matters. That's why we've combined the cutting-edge research of nutrigenomics with a leverage plan to build your own legacy, because you matter. And that may be a message that you want to spread. So that's something that I consider very important. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into a really quick overview of how to get into your replicated website, how to get into your virtual office, and how to place an order. From there, we're going to move into the topic called commitment. So let me get this pulled up and let's see here. All right, Kathleen, you can do this. All right, so share screen. Oh, I've got some chat in here. Aw, wonderful, great stuff. I love this chat. I always forget to look at it, but I love looking and seeing what's going on there. All right, so here we are. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna bring this down and we'll get rid of this. Hide video pan. Oops, uh-oh, I don't know what I just did. Show video panel, and I want to hide this here. Hide floating controls. Yes, this is becoming so fun. Okay, so guys, this is your replicated website. This is where you are going to send all the people you know and love, your family, your prospects, your neighbors, people that you feel should be exposed to these incredible products. And when they type your replicated website address in, this is what's going to come up. And as they scroll down, there's going to be all kinds of really cool stuff that they can tap into. Okay, so they can even begin to shop on your site if they choose. Now, the next thing that we can do is we can go into your, what we call your virtual office, which is your back office. And we've come over here to login, which is in the upper right-hand corner. We click on login. That takes us to the login page, and you put in your ID number and your password, and then go ahead and let it load. And we are now in the virtual office. Now, this is really important for you guys as distributors. As you sign into your virtual office, notice what comes up right away. It talks about global convention. And I want to encourage you, if you haven't done already, I want you to register now. You've got 78 days, 18 hours, 42 minutes, and 26 seconds as of now. So you're going to click on this right here to register. And then when you've got time, it's $199. But remember what Deb said, you're going to receive over $300 in goodies that is going to come to you. It's kind of a care package that they're going to send. We have no idea what's going to be in it, but it's going to be fun. So you can scroll down, you can see that the agenda is on Friday the 23rd, Saturday the 24th, and this is how you're going to access the event. There will be a link available. And then look at all the speakers that they're going to have over the course of 2 days. You're going to hear from CEO Darren Jensen, BJ Fogg, Alan Stein Jr., Aaron Brockovich. Oh my gosh, it just goes on and on and on. You are in a very, very high class operation here. Remember, we are publicly traded. We're up on the NASDAQ. Our stock is solid. We have a team at corporate that's got our back. So you should be very impressed by all of that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pop into your virtual office. I'm going to show you how to place an order real quickly. So when we click on this in the upper right-hand corner, you can scroll down. You'll notice that you can manage your subscription. You can also see your order history here, but I'm going to go ahead and just pull you all the way in. If we go in here to our virtual office, we click on that. And we are now in my husband's back office, I like to say, but basically the virtual office. And there are all kinds of drop-down menus, which we're not going to go into because we're serving time tonight. But there are lots of things that you can go in and take a look at. The only thing we're going to focus on tonight is shopping and setting up your subscription order. So when you get here to the drop-down menu, you click on subscription orders. And this is where it's going to be really important to set up your subscription. You click on add new subscription. If you already have a subscription and you want to change it, all you have to do is click change, and you can go in. This was our most recent subscription order here within this business center. This just went out on the 5th, which just went out early this morning. But if you want to continue shopping, or if for any reason you want to change it, you can click on continue shopping. And let's say hypothetically you want to click on stacks and you want to order stacks, and that's everything. It's the Tri-Synergizer, it's the Omega Plus, it has the prebiotic and the probiotic, and let's go ahead and add that to the cart. We'll come over here to the cart, view cart, and let's decide that that's the only thing we want in here. So we'll just go ahead and remove these other items. Okay, so now we have the ultimate stack bottles right here. What I want to point out to you is how important your points volume is. All right, you notice it says volume 200. The price is $237.99. Big difference between the two. But what I want you to focus on is the personal volume. Why? Because in the world of LifeVantage, you want to maintain your ability to be commissionable. What does that look like? What that means is that as long as you have 100 to 199 points, you are commissionable at 30%. That 30% will be reflected in your brand new preferred customers' initial orders and your new personal distributors' orders. So you will earn 30% as long as your points volume is from 100 to 199. When you get to 200 and over, you are now commissionable at 40%. That's a 10% jump, and there are two ways that you can achieve that 200 points. You can do it by placing your own personal order, So let's say hypothetically you have an order at 100 points. Your personal customers within that month, as long as they order within that month period, they will help you to qualify and get you up to 200. But I will tell you, as a business owner for 10 years plus, many other years, I've never allowed my customers to determine the trajectory of my business when it comes to my income. So I always make sure that I'm commissionable at least 200 points. All right, so that's how we place an order. I want to encourage you, when you have time, even as a rebooting distributor, there is so much value in this virtual office today. There's just all kinds of things that you can take a look at, and I want to encourage you to do that when you have time. So what I'd like to do now, let me see here, global convention, I'm just going to kind of go back there, close that out, and just kind of talking about convention. And I want to kind of finish out with some things that I'd like to share with you. I'll just put it on Darren. I think Darren has done a wonderful job. He has lost a lot of weight in the last couple of years. I think he looks fantastic. So this is our CEO, Darren Jensen, and I think he would agree with me when I share with you some things that I find that are very important. You know, as many of you know, I live just outside of Indianapolis. You know what I want to do? I want to speak directly to you. So let me do this. I'm going to stop share, and I am going to pin my video here and bring it up because I want you to see me. So I find this very important, guys. As many of you know, I live just outside of Indianapolis, and you know, Chicago is north of Indianapolis, and you can get to Chicago from Indianapolis by plane, train, or car. But you know what? How to get there is completely irrelevant unless you first make a commitment to travel to Chicago. Make sense? So in many ways, areas of life, the question of how is completely irrelevant without a commitment. And how do we define commitment? One definition that resonates with me is as follows. Commitment is the relentless choice to keep a worthy promise long after the emotion that helped trigger that promise has ebbed away. As distributors, we all struggle at times. Let me get rid of that. Here. Put that over there. As distributors, we all struggle at times with how to do the business. We may ask ourselves, how can I do this? Or how can I make this work? But maybe the more important question to ask ourselves on those occasions is, how committed am I to my business? When we are truly committed, the how will naturally follow. There are tried and true strategies that we can follow, which means that our success depends more on our commitment to success than on the means by which we travel to that destination. So, and one more point, is there such a thing as a partial commitment? Let me share a story that my mentor uses to truly define what commitment is. You know, she had only been married a couple of years at the time when this idea came to her. She and her husband were married, and they had a monogamous relationship. And she also travels a lot. So she thought what it would look and feel like if she came home from one of her 5-day trips and said to him, "Oh, Joe, I had such a wonderful trip. And the best part is I was monogamous for 3 of the 5 nights. Not much of a true commitment, is it? So ask yourselves, how committed am I to my LifeVantage business on a day-to-day basis? Remember, commitment is the relentless choice to keep a worthy promise. And as entrepreneurs, it is a worthy promise that we make ourselves. It's the commitment and promise that we make to ourselves more than anyone else. In the weeks to come, we're going to continue to discuss strategies that will take us to where we want to go. But first, let's be sure to continually assess our commitment to getting there. One of the most important and revealing commitments you can make to yourself is to sign up for the upcoming LifeVantage convention in October. I want you to stay true, and I want you to stay committed to yourself. So that's going to be the theme for these intervening 4 weeks. Some of you may be aware, others of you may not. Pro 9 Cherie Gillespie and I have come up with a promotion. Now, this is a team-specific promotion, so from Pro 9 Cherie Gillespie on down, anyone who is currently signed up with for convention, you're going to receive 1 ticket. Now, if you've attended tonight, the notes are being taken. My wonderful husband Jeffrey is writing all your names down, and if you've already signed up for convention, you're going to get an extra ticket tonight. Now, if you haven't signed up for convention, and for whatever reason, we will give you until August 28th to get your name in. Now, Cherie does get a complete readout, so she will know as soon as your name goes in that you have signed up for convention. If you showed up tonight and you're still not signed up, get signed up and you'll get a ticket for signing up and you'll get a ticket for attending tonight. When you show up for the training next Wednesday night, you'll get 2 additional tickets. When you show up 2 weeks from now for the 3rd week in August, you will get 3 tickets, and in the 4th week, you'll receive 4 tickets. Now, if you miss a week, you'll go back to 1 ticket for the next week. So what are some of the special things that you're going to be able to have access to? Well, one of the best things about LifeVantage is we've got some incredible swag. We've got some really, really cool stuff on offer, from hats to shirts. They've got notebooks, and all of that, believe it or not, is being sponsored by corporate. That's how much they love you, and that's how much they want to support you. So we really want to encourage you to get in there, get yourself registered. And let's go ahead and create a team. My personal goal on my team is 100 people will be signed up for a convention by the end of August. Now, remember, we'll still have September and also October, but unfortunately, you may miss out on getting your special package because they have to have enough information in a more timely manner so that they can get it mailed out to you. So with that, I just want to let you all know that I consider each and every one of you special. I'm so glad that you've taken the time, you've given yourself your own self-support by being here tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop share, and we'll move into about 15 minutes of training. If you have any questions specific to what we've talked about tonight, if you've got questions about convention or perhaps some of new distributor-like training questions, we certainly would love to hear them. So let me go ahead and stop sharing here.